Hey everyone, my name's Cody. Had a lot of problems with actually doing events from like keyboard events on my own. Finally got it figured out and fixed up for myself, but took quite a while and it was kind of hard to do on my own, just reading about it and everything. So I figured I'd make a video to help some people with it. So anywho, let me go ahead and show you how to do that. So first and foremost, if you've never seen a program before, I know it's kind of funky looking, but anywho, here's how it works. Basically, when you include files, you're including someone else's work, okay? I'm not going to be real specific about this, going to try to go real quick through it, but you're going to include these files, so some of these functions and methods and everything will work. Okay, if you want to get this done and working exactly right, just pretty much copy paste this code or type it in or whatever you want to do with it. But anyway, let's get started. This is where the function starts for main, so here you go. Here's the big point of it. So what you do is you create a CGEvent reference and call it event1, just what the variable name is. I'm going to try to get through this pretty fast and not be very explanatory about everything, but here's how it works. So what you do is when you create that variable, you take that variable and you assign it to something. So it's pretty much empty right now. It's just this type of variable. Just much the same as you would say int test, you know, because you could use test as an integer. But anyway, that's how it works. Then you take a function call, and if you look here, it's actually defined in CGEvent.h, but this is some of the things that Apple's implemented for us. Anyway, here's the function. What it's going to do is it's going to take these particular arguments and it's going to use them. You don't have to use NULL if you don't want to, but I did because that's just what I wanted to do. And I was just going to show you Xcode does pretty good at giving you kind of a template and what it needs. Virtual key, the source, like I just put source as null. That's fine for now for what I'm using it for. CG key code, virtual key. So this would be the virtual programmatic, what you're going to write, what it's going to recognize as the key that you're using. And this would be a true or false. Is the key down or is it not? Meaning, is it pressed or not? Anyway, there's that. So this is kind of cool. This, I believe, is defined in, see events.h. But it's kind of cool. Events.h is kind of mixed with Carbon. I believe I read that. So this is recognized in Carbon as well as events.h, even though it shows it's defined in events.h. Long story short, what this does is if you start typing this whole thing, what it's going to do, it's going to give you some suggestions of what you want, which is really nice. Kind of a cool thing is if you want to have B, the letter B that is, to be pressed, that's what you'll put it as, B. If you want C, that's what you'll do there. You can't say Coty, it's not going to spell out a name, it's just a character. Anyways, that's how that works. We'll get to this in a second, this part. Okay, so for every application, pretty much, they have a specific process serial number. And just like here, we had defined a CGEventRef to be a variable named event1. So PSN, this particular variable name, is going to be of type process serial number. That's just how it works. Now, this is, you know, a process essentially, and it has a specific serial number, right? Okay, so get front process, what does that do? Well, that returns whatever process that you're looking at. Here I'm looking at Safari, right? Here I'm looking at the terminal. Here I'm looking at Xcode. Well, whatever process is on the screen at the time, that's the front process. So if you say get front process and return that, it's going to return whatever process is in the front at that particular point in time. And that's how that works. So what this does, it's actually going to go to the address of where PSN is. So PSN, I would suppose, is a pointer to whatever type this is. And what you have to do is you have to reference the address of those type of variables. A little bit deep into the programming world, you'll understand that, but for now, that's how you have to write it. Okay, so remember you have a process serial number. Well, if you want to post that particular event, that keyboard event, which is C, that letter, what you actually do here is you send the process serial number to this function, because that's a particular function, and then from there what you do is you send that event that you defined up here, which is C, for instance, and then what this last part does is it releases this event 1 from memory, so it just takes it away when you're done with it. But anyway, let's go ahead and run it, and I'll show you that this should type a C, a lowercase c. Yeah, so don't mind the stuff that comes up after that. It's just Xcode trying to help, but basically it's just going to type a C. If I want to type a C here, this is just for an experiment real quick. Anyway, if you want to type a T, you can do that, and then run it, and it should type a lowercase t there. Oops. Remember, it has to be capitalized too. So I'm human, I mess up. That's how that works. There you go. There's a lowercase t. Okay, so try not to make the video too long. What you do here with this part, set event flags. If you want a capital letter, what you actually do is you can head on over to this Apple documentation. It's right here. So what this does is you scroll down to the constants and go to event flags. So basically flags what's some different type of things. So if you want it to be holding down control, or simulating a hold down for control, you'd actually paste that here. But we actually want to make it just a capital letter. So what we're going to do, I'm not sure what alpha shift is, but whatever. You would paste this particular guy right here. So that's what you do. And now what it's going to do is every time that event 1 is called on from here and below, it's actually going to be a capital, because why? Because we set the flag to be it's being shifted, so it's event 1. So just to run it, and for an example, I'll show you it's going to be a capital T now, see, instead of that. Anyway, that's how that works. Maybe look in my next video and I'll show you how you can do some kind of cool stuff and bring some things together with it. Have a good one.